Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is Thursday, February 24th. I am off work today. Not hating it. Yesterday I was done work at a normal time. I was done at 6, but let me tell you, we have challenges every single day with my job. This particular one, 2 company names were very similar that they were talking about, and we had it wrong most of the time, so we had to go back and re-listen, and I was just like, why would you form 2 companies with such a similar name that when they pronounced it, it almost sounded like the other one, right? So I did get a tiny bit of stitching done, not very much though, because I started last night. I decided to just get to bed, and I started watching The Girl Before, based on the J.P. Delaney book. It's on HBO Max. There are only 4 episodes, and I got through 2, and it's pretty good. I had kind of forgotten the book. The book was good though. Jill and I read it a couple years ago. So I am working, remember the pattern I'm doing is the Viking, and all I have done, I got done the 3 little hearts. I want to get to the hearts on this side, so this is why I stitched the green like that, because then I'll be able to count over. This is part of like his uniform. So I'm thinking that today, when I'm done filming this video, because it's only like 10 of 1, I'm going to sit down, listen to a podcast, do some stitching. Because Bill will not be home until about 3:30. So I got some time, right? Of course, after I process this video and do all that. So let me set that to the side. Before I forget, do you remember? You like that song? I love that song. I love disco music. I grew up in the 70s, right? Well, I was born in 74. But every time I hear, that's the song that pops into my head, by Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think that's who sang that song. Okay, Etsy. So do you remember the bobbin holder I had bought from, let me look it up because I'm going to show you. I know her name is Kate. Modern Hoopla. So it's called a bobbin rack for embroidery floss, and here's what it looks like. It will hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'll hold 12 colors. It's $28. This is what it looks like. And I just liked it because it'll just keep all of them standing up. So originally she had available as options 1/16 inch, which if you use the DMC cardboard bobbins, those would fit. Then for the acrylic, it's a 1/8 inch slot, which they make acrylic bobbins for DMC too that aren't the pip and chip ones. Well, I bought that thinking, and I don't know why I thought that. I bought that thinking that I was going to use that for the pip and chip bobbins. And I had messaged Kate about making one for Sulky, because it'd be awesome to just be able to stick the bobbins in something like that, right? And so we were talking back and forth, and I said, yeah, I have the pip and chip. I can't wait to get yours. And she's like, oh no, those aren't going to fit in there. So she said, mark the package, return to sender, and then I will mail you out that one. So she hasn't received the package yet that I sent, because I don't know how long return to sender stuff takes. But she did make one now for pip and chip bobbins, I think are 3 millimeters wide, and her slot is 4 millimeters wide, so they can easily fit. So very, very excited about that. So I will link it down below. She actually has, not on Etsy, she has it listed on her website. So I will link that down below if you would like to go check that out. And what's so cool is, if you look, it has a magnet right here for needles, scissors, whatever. So that's very cool. So I wanted to tell you guys that before it went out of my head. Today's Wordle. Can we talk about that for a second? It took me all 6 tries. And I sat there and I thought, oh my God, this is going to be the day that I don't get the word. I got it. Not an easy one today. All right, so we have a bunch to go over. We have talking points. We have OMG moments. We've got some stuff. So yesterday when I opened the mail, I had a package, a gift from a lovely subscriber. I'm going to open the card. I didn't open the card yesterday. Ooh, looks like it's handmade. Love stuff like that. Look at that. Shelly says, hi Danielle, I have watched you from your beginning. You are my kind of gal, swear words and all. I am starting an Etsy shop soon, and when I saw junk journals, I thought I would give you some pretty bows I make for cord making, but you can use them for whatever. And she also, wait till you see what she gave me. Thank you so much, Shelly. So the bows, I will definitely be using them. They have like little bits of adhesive on the, so you can just stick them down. Yeah, those will be used for my junk journal pages. Absolutely. Aren't they like the cutest? Oh my God. Look at this. I literally like screamed when I saw it. Can you even? It's a fox, if you didn't know. Are you? And it looks like it's made from tinsel, like that would go on a Christmas tree. I'm dead. So this little guy is going to go right up here on my shelf. Absolutely. And then the last thing that she got me, she said she had to get this because it's a fox and it's wearing glasses. I was dead. Bill was like, oh my God. Yeah, I will so be drinking out of that. Are you kidding me? The fox is wearing glasses. Right? Let's go. Thank you so much, Shelly. Appreciate all of that. Okay. One other thing that I wanted to mention before it goes out of my head. I have a subscriber, Marianne. We talk fairly frequently on Facebook Messenger about books and TV shows and stuff. She sent me a video yesterday. She makes junk journals, and I think she said she sells them at art galleries. And she said, I would love to gift you one just for being you. And she said, you know, I didn't know if you would want another one. Are you kidding? I'll have 50. I'll fill them. I don't even care. So she sent a video and had one that she had made that was themed for months. And there was like 3 pages for each month. It is amazing, astounding, beautiful. And she's like, well, it's only 6 by 6. And I'm like, well, the lucky, I almost said lucky penny. The lucky puppy one that I have is 6 by 8. So 6 by 6, that'll work. I mean, oh my God, it's so amazing. So she is going to send it to me. Wait until you see it. I will do a flip through. Gorgeous. It has, every page has a journal card, and as people are saying now, chef's kiss. Like, wait till you see this, right? So very excited about that. I did get some fabric that I've been wanting to try, and I feel like I've stitched on this count fabric before, but trying to venture sometimes into 20 count. This was an eBay auction, Silk Weavers 20 count Lugana, because they actually make Lugana. So this is Golden Promise. And then this was in the same lot, Abracadabra, which is like a purple. And I mean, you can clearly, I mean, look at that. You can clearly see the holes. So that is the main thing for me for going to a lower count fabric is I need to be able to see the holes without too much stress and strain on my eyes. I wear readers when I stitch now, so. And then I got an Amazon order yesterday. So in doing the junk journals, sometimes the little stickers I put down, because of the curve of the pages, or I've touched it with my finger or something, the adhesive doesn't want to stick totally down. So instead of using like glue per se, I decided to buy these small glue dots. And actually people use these for diamond painting instead of the pink wax. But yeah, so I got them, and that's how big they are. They show you, that's like the real size. So yeah, I'm gonna incorporate those. And then if you watch Michelle Bendy Stitchy, who, a wonderful human, and I have met her in person. She has a fantastic designing business. She designs cross-stitch designs, has a very awesome floss tube channel. I am even a patron of hers because I absolutely love all of that so much. And she does junk journals, and they're just so fabulous. I can't gush enough about her junk journals. And she glues her stitching down. And what she does is she uses fusible interfacing on the back. Because if you would just slap glue on the back of fabric, that's not going to work because it's going to go through the holes. So because I noticed when I did the last coffee piece, when I ironed it on the front to adhere it to the page, it flattened my stitches. And I'm like, I don't like that. So I said, I'm going to try the interfacing. So I bought this interfacing from Amazon. Morobe fusible interfacing, lightweight. So you iron it on. And yeah, and you press. You don't glide. You press it. You know, you press your iron down. So just to give it something on the back that the glue can adhere to. And of course, I didn't have any tacky glue. How do I not have tacky glue? So I ordered a bottle of tacky glue, but I realized I'm going to have to play with how much glue to really use, because even though the pages in a junk journal are a little thicker than like computer paper, I still don't want to go through to the other side, if that makes sense. So stay tuned for that, because for the Viking piece, I'm going to try the interfacing. All right, let's do some OMG moments, because then we'll do our talking points, and then we'll do how we're going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022. All right. I'm not going to do a motivational story, but I am going to read a motivational post that I found on Facebook. You'll see why I'm going to read that. It was enough for me to save it. All right, so now, not that this is really a talking point, but I'm curious if other people do this method. So this is someone that is stitching, I'm guessing, a Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a full coverage piece. So they do all of their top pages cross country, where they take one color and they will go across all the pages. Whoever does this method, there is no way in hell I think I could ever do it. When I was trying to count on the Viking piece over from that heart, it was only 11 stitches. I counted it like 3 times, because that is probably the most anxiety producing thing that I do in stitching, is when I have to count like a long way. Like, because if you were off by 1, it's going to just, I'm going to show you the picture of what her piece looked like. Let me click on it. Look at that cross country. Kudos, seriously. I do not, now her fabric is gridded, which I'm sure makes it easier to do that. And it must be pretty amazing to see the piece come together that way if you're doing like one color, because you would slowly start to see it form. Do any of you do that? I don't know. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. All right, now I think I've shared this before, but this was on the Witchy Stitcher group. And if you look on the back of your piece and you see a thread that you didn't tuck in, right? I'm going to show you. Okay. The top thread is what's not untucked. Now, you can also, there is a tool called a thread tuck or something like that, that's metal, that you can pull, do the same thing like they did with this red thread. So they looped a piece of red thread. They put that piece of red thread through their needle and put it in the stitches right here, and then put that tail through that loop and then pulled it through the stitches. Do you understand? You see how they did that? It's amazing. And it definitely will save you time. When that can really come in handy too is when you find a knot on the back of your fabric. And let's face it, we've all done that. You're 50 stitches past that point and you turn your work over and you're like, you're hissing, right? You're hissing because you're like, great. So if you cut that knot, then you're going to have like a tail, and you could use that method to tuck it under. Hopefully it's long enough to tuck under. I just absolutely love that though. And I need to remember that that method is there. Okay. And again, the age-old question, how many strands on 14 count? I have tried 2, 3, 4. 2 seems to be the consensus because it's easy to manage and you can do a loop start. And most people like to see, as crisscross stitches says, it is cross stitch, so it's okay if you see the crosses. Yeah. So this person, I just wanted to point this out because they were unsure whether to do 2 or 3. Look how beautiful and neat those stitches are. People below, before I even read the comments, people below said, you can stick with 2 because your stitches are gorgeous. That is very nice and neat. I think they were concerned because they could see the fabric behind it, but that's not always a hateful bad thing. It's not. And then the last talking point before we see some OMG moments. Get ready. Get ready. So someone posted in the Cross Stitch Unlimited group that I belong to. Today, I told someone that I do cross stitch and they said, oh, that's just the lazy way for people who can't do embroidery. And she says, how would you reply to this? Probably with a Medusa glare, first of all. Maybe I probably would have been shocked. First of all, I hate the stigmas around cross stitch that this is an old lady or a grandmother habit. I would like to see you do it then. I love that younger people are stitching, getting their kids into doing it. Needlework is probably the oldest craft that is out there. Why in the hell? Why would you even say something like that to someone? That's the lazy way for people who can't do embroidery. There are 874 comments on this post. So, someone said, here's a top comment. Someone said, I would tell them, really, you try and count and keep it straight without missing a stitch. And God help you if someone on the TV even says a number, because then you're screwed. Oh yeah, if Bill sees me counting when I used to like stitch downstairs, if I'm like 1, 2, he'd be like 8, 15. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it messes you up. Someone said my first instinct would say, bite me. But my polite response would be, I enjoy the art and creating pieces. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. We know this. But that's just rude to say that to someone. That's just a lazy way. Someone had a really good comment, though, and I forget. It was something about, let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to thumb through 800 and... Someone said, I would comment, I have never heard it explained that way. That's a good way to, that's a good comeback for a lot of things. That's an interesting point. Someone say, I would say that is absolutely incorrect. I don't think one is more difficult than another. They're just different. That's an awesome answer. Someone else said, you're an idiot? Here is the best response. Are you ready? Candy McDonald. She said, no, it's for people who can count and don't need a picture to trace. Ooh, burn, right? Well, come on. Yeah, like, I'm always amazed when I see posts like that. Okay, so time for some OMG moments. I even made a separate list on Facebook for it because I have quite a bit. All right, so the very first one, this piece is probably one of my most favorite Heaven and Earth design pieces that I've ever seen. This one is by Jen McNeil, and this is Hidden Harbor by Andy Russell, and she stitched it 1 by 1 full crosses on 28 count even weave. So this piece, she said, saw her through grad school with all its ups and downs, and she graduated last year and finished it last night. I don't even have words. Look at that. That's stitching. I would not be able to stop looking at that. Let me see if I can click on it again and have that. Okay, yeah, there you go. There's the whole thing. Are you kidding me right now? Look at those hills. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, stunning. Okay, this one is a young person who Claudia, she taught her 7-year-old to stitch, and she just finished her first counted cross stitch. And I'm usually leery about putting children on things, but she posted this like on many different groups. So I am not going to, I'm going to show the picture. So her daughter started at 5 years old with stamped cross stitch and now transferred her own. And even the back of her work looks amazing. Okay, so here's the front. She did an alphabet. Doesn't that look so good? And her daughter's just the cutest little thing. And then here's the back of it. Yeah. Looks great. And we need the younger generation stitching. When we grow up and die, and somebody's got to carry it on, right? Gorgeous. Okay. The next one is Halloween Minis by Artesy, and this is by Janice, and they got it back from the framers. I love horror movies. I love Halloween stuff. Is that not the coolest looking thing? I love the Dracula up top. Really, really loved that one. Great job. Okay, another Heaven and Earth designs coming up. This is by Nikki. Mini Soaring Free 2 by Joan Marie. The colors in this had to have been a little bit difficult to stitch because look at the colors. I mean, it's gorgeous. Look at that. Stunning. Just stunning. Now, I'm going to give you a warning. The next two pictures are quite saucy. And saucy as in, you know my channel, I say fuck, I say the F word. I have no qualms about saying that because that is who I am. I'm going to warn you, the next two pictures I'm going to show you may incite some pearl clutching by people. Now, I'm going to preface this before I show you. I belong to the group called Snarky and Nerdy Cross Stitching. I saw this in there. I busted out laughing, and I immediately sent it to McKenna, Stitching in Sequence, because she is the one person that I immediately thought of that I knew she would appreciate this. And I told my husband, I need to stitch this. Now, this person, before I show you, they stitched it for a housewarming gift. And they said it was well received. Get ready, because this is quite saucy. Look at what that says. I fuck better than I cook. Let's go, right? Is that not? I told Bill I need to stitch that. Yes, indeedy. And there are a lot of comments under that. Someone was like, oh my. I love that one though. So I need to add that to another collection. Okay, now the next one. The next one is in the cross stitch group Nerdy and Uncensored. This is by Colin. And this is a WWE wrestler, Chris Benoit. When I saw this, I said, oh my. Get ready. Okay, there's a couple pictures. This is a full coverage piece. Saucy. Dang, right? Can you imagine stitching that? And then there is the original picture and then what he looks like. Can you even? I bet you could bounce quarters off his butt. I guarantee it, right? Can you imagine stitching that? I had to show that though. Imagine having that hanging in your house. I wouldn't be able to stop looking at it. Bill saw it and he was like, right, okay. Yeah, he didn't care to see that. All right. The next one warrants OMFG. This is by, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I want to say Ludmilla. I know I murdered that. So, this only took her 48 days to complete. The whole piece is done in beads, 30,000 beads. Wrap your brain around that for a second. Beads. This is all beads. That's beads. Can I say it again? That whole thing is beads. What do you think that looks like in person? And it only took her 48 days to complete it. Now, I don't know if that was 48 straight days. That is definitely warrants OMFG. Like, are you kidding me right now? Gorgissimo. Okay, two more. This is by Chandra, and this is the chocolate box. Now, this is from the patterns from the January-February 1995 issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, and I think I actually had this issue a long time ago. It's so amazing that she stitched it and actually put it in a Valentine candy box. Doesn't that look amazing? Love, love, love. Absolutely love it. It's so cool looking. I love seeing stuff like that. And then the last one is another Heaven and Earth Designs, because every one that I see of those finished is almost an OMG moment. This one is by, it says Kelly and June Campion. It is Daylight by John Shannon, 28 count, 1/1. I mean, come on. Huh? Right? Look at that. Stunning. Stunning. All right. So we are going to end with, instead of a motivational story, this is sort of a motivational post for sure. Someone posted this. I belong to tons of cross stitch groups on Facebook and also a lot of book groups. And this was posted in the book hangout spot. And it says, for those that need reminding. Now this is an author, and she posted this on Twitter, and someone reposted it in this group. Mary Cecilia Jackson. So she said, I started writing what I wanted to write at 54 years old. I began with picture books. They sucked hardcore. I found my young adult voice at 56 years old. I got an agent when I was 59 years old. It was hard. My debut book comes out in 2020. I'll be 62 years old. There is no age limit to your dreams. Write on, lovely writers, write on. And I say any dream that you have, it's never too late. Just take that first step. It is seriously never too late. I honestly, and Bill says I should do it, I've always wanted to write a book. I love books so much. Just don't know what I would write about, right? But that's amazing. She started writing at 54. 54. I mean, that's just, if that's not inspirational, I don't know what is. Okay. So, how are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? Let's see. Ooh, this one's a short one. I like the short ones because they're usually very powerful, I feel like. And again, because I tore that off like a crazy person. Okay. Blame is the domain of the powerless. I think the underlying thing of a lot of these is that we need to take responsibility for our own actions, right? Or our own part and stuff. I feel like that's what that means. Okay. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic Thursday. It's nice that there was one day shorter in the work week because of Monday being a holiday. So tomorrow's already Friday again. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.